Hey, it's Anya.
It's your girl, Nadia.
What's up, guys? It's Trent.
And I'm Ramesh, and we are The Community. We're covering the latest in pop culture, politics, and everything in between. Let's get started. Good day, and welcome to another week of The Community. Happy Mother's Day to everyone, to all of our mothers and mother figures, especially those persons working out in the essential businesses and industries. So we wanted to say a happy Mother's Day and extend a joyous time to you. We're thinking of you, praying for you, and hope that you have a wonderful day. All right. Now, team, let's just dive straight into our community of the week.
Woo.
So,
Oh,
yes.
were we supposed to take a sip? Because I ain't got no beverage on the side of me.
It's not tea.
I haven't had my coffee for the day either.
Just say I had some Cinnabon. So sorry, Ramesh, go ahead. Tell us your topic.
So the community of the week is quarantine fatigue. So the New York Post has stated that since being placed on quarantine over 2 months ago, a number of Americans have started to display quarantine fatigue. And for anyone who's wondering what that means is they're starting to get tired of being confined to their homes because of the quarantine, the social distancing and stay-at-home orders that have been put in place. So has anyone on the podcast been experiencing quarantine fatigue?
I'm over it.
Beyond
I'm ready to get back into normal living and going out, and even I'm going to even say I'm ready to go back to work. I'm just over being home now. I've had enough of it. It was fun, and I'm surprised I've actually lasted this long. But I'm ready. I'm ready to now interact with others a little bit more, and just be out. So for me, it's been rough. I'm ready. I gotta go.
You too?
I'm ready as well, but I'm still a little skeptical about it. I think it's important that we dive into it, think positively, but still take precautionary steps because the vaccine is not made yet. So we still have to be careful.
I am definitely over the whole quarantine situation. I can't say that I am skeptical or hesitant to return back to work. I don't necessarily feel that way because I kind of feel as though there could be a potential possibility that a vaccine will not be found, which is not shocking because there are many diseases out there and viruses that do not have a vaccine. I just think that we just have to take the precautions to be safe, to be more hygienic, which is really sad that a virus or a pandemic has come into play to show us what we were supposed to be doing from we were in kindergarten. Washing your hands, not putting your hand in your face and in your mouth, which I struggled with for a very long time because I was a nail biter. So I'll put that out there.
I feel.
But yeah, I'm not super hesitant. I am tired of being inside this house. Sometimes I sit in my car and I just want to smell my Febreze car freshener. So I cut it on the front. Okay. So that is where I'm at. I am this close to ending up on Snap. Okay? So I'm done. This is it.
A younger sister that looks exact.
So for me, yes, I am. I think I've arrived to the point where it's like, okay, I'm ready just to go outside and explore. But I still have the understanding that, like everyone has stated, there is no cure for it. So it's still about taking those precautionary measures to make sure that we stay safe, make sure that I'm social distancing. And I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for persons once these measures have been lifted. Because I don't know if anyone has been out on the road this week since the Prime Minister has lifted, well, not even lifted, he has started to relax some of the orders, and it has been horrible. The traffic on the road is greater than when work
in school traffic.
Oh my God.
It's school traffic. It's
and
ridiculous.
if that's any indication of what's going to happen when the ban is actually lifted, or the restriction, sorry, is actually lifted, then we're going to have a major problem, because a lot of persons, as of now, have stopped wearing masks. They have stopped paying attention to the social distancing order. There's no 6 feet. There's no groups less than 10. It's just utter chaos. And we are still under curfew and still on a lockdown. So it's kind of alarming to see where we're at already. But I kind of get it, but I kind of hope that persons will understand that we still need to take these steps.
Well, I don't know if you guys have persons on your social media platforms, but yesterday I had a couple people on my social media platforms that had full-on parties in their house, like, and in their backyard, like multiple persons grilling, rum, dancing. No, I see not one person on any of these people's Instagram and WhatsApp status and Facebook Live and Snapchat. I ain't see a mask yet, like not one. And it is so funny because everybody's captions are like just road and da-da-da, but it's like, y'all legitimately, like, that is, you have to be completely tired of quarantine if you're doing that. Not saying that you don't have to, you know, you can't be around your friends, because gatherings should be, as they said, you know, 10 persons or less. But my goodness, you're still supposed to practice the social distancing measures and take precaution. But I can tell you, it was over 10 people in a couple of these parties that I saw. Some people had DJ sets. Like, I was baffled. I was trying to figure out if I missed the memo that the lockdown and the quarantine was over.
I mean, let's even take it one step further. So we had a death on either Monday or Tuesday of someone who died at a pool party. I mean, how does that happen if we are supposed to be on lockdown? I sympathies to the family, but it's just a bit alarming to understand how we allow these things to happen to then lead to a death.
Yeah, people are just becoming relaxed now about it. I guess people are realizing the panic of it is over now. Like, so at the end of the day now, we just want to get out. That's just what it is now. We're over being stuck at home and everything is closed and restricted to do different things. So we just want to get out, and we're forgetting all of the necessary rules and precautions that we need to take. So that's the scary part about it.
Yeah. All right. So another, I guess, troubling situation that would have taken place over the border. If anyone has been keeping up with the news, you would be aware of Ahmed Aubrey's passing. Well, I should say his murder. This would have been a young African-American male. He was out doing leisurely stroll. He was jogging around a neighborhood, not 100% sure if it was his. And then he was just attacked and murdered in the middle of the street.
On video.
Until it was recorded by a passerby, but the persons who committed the crime up until this week were not arrested. Only after a lot of social media acknowledgement of this murder, of this injustice, was there any action taken towards the two suspects. So, Trent, tell me, what are your thoughts on this situation, and how do you feel considering it's two Caucasian males versus an African-American male who seemingly was just taking a stroll?
I think the sad part about it is that we wouldn't have heard about it if the tape didn't get released. Everybody would be living as normal as if this didn't happen. So that's the saddest part about it. So like you said, he was jogging. But what amazes me is that these two Caucasian men, they met him around the bend. They knew that he had to somehow come around as he was jogging. And they met him around the bend on their truck with guns already loaded. So your intent was to hurt him. That's the issue that people are not, that some white people cannot seem to grasp. They're saying that we're always pulling the race card, but think about it. If it was a Caucasian guy strolling, running, you wouldn't have assumed that guy was a criminal, because they said that they have been receiving a lot of, break-ins in the area lately, which turned out to be false, by the way.
So one of the things that was brought up recently was, why was it so convenient for the person recording to be recording at the time that he was? Yeah. So a lot of persons are starting to link that person as well to this crime.
Yeah, because I feel like it sort of comes off like a hunting
right.
scenario, because how are you randomly just driving in this neighborhood with your phone camera out, and you're actually video recording these guys on the back of a truck, and you feel safe? See, my concern is that, because if I'm driving through a neighborhood, and let's just say I do have my phone or just naturally recording, the moment I see guys on the back of a truck with shotguns out, I'm a press brakes, reverse, turn around, and call 911 to let them know that there's these gentlemen on the back of this truck with shotguns. I don't know if they're little or not, but they're just riding through a normal neighborhood with shotguns on their truck. This person, whoever recorded the video, was comfortable enough to literally follow this truck.
Yeah.
And didn't seem scared or afraid, didn't make comments or anything. So it comes off to me like it was sort of like a hunting party, and they were making sport of it. And then the guy, Ahmad, if you watch the video, he is trying to fight off one of the
dad looks like the dad or the older guy.
Like the guy, right? And he shot at them. I don't know if he hit him at that point, but I know that the one who Ahmad was struggling with definitely shot again. I think it was a total of 3 or 4 shots fired. And then you can see Ahmad trying to run, but he got maybe like 4 or 5 feet and then just stumbled to the ground. And for the fact that you could sit in your car and record that and feel okay and feel safe, and not even, the camera didn't even like tremble.
You didn't scream, you didn't shout to say, hey, stop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. As you hunting at this point.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know.
So, taking it back home, just a lot of drama been happening in the news this last week. So, yesterday, on Friday, we had the return of quite a number of our Bahamian citizens from the U.S. So, last week we reported on the scandal where 6 permanent residents, that number, were able to return home. So the government put in place that the remaining persons in the U.S. who were interested in returning home had the ability to. So that would have taken place this Friday. That was met by a number of critics complaining about the travel amenities once they were brought home. So the first story that I heard about was the young gentleman who was complaining about the transit to head home. And then that was followed quickly by a young lady who posted on Facebook about her time inside this hotel with the amenities that she was provided during her quarantine experience. So tell me, I understand that you have been away from home. I do get it. I do understand that you have been placed in quarantine in a place that is not the comfort of your home. You're around people that you may not know. But at the same time, in my opinion, you have been put up for free. Your paying ticket was paid for you to come home for free. You've been provided food and beverage.
Did not clear customs.
Okay.
So we know that y'all had stuff in there that needed to be cleared, because guess what? Deliveries were still happening in the States. And I'm pretty sure when y'all say that y'all looking to in, y'all were still ordering and getting y'all stuff. Y'all jammed them in them suitcase. I'm pretty sure y'all went, y'all got yourself a flea market bag, y'all brought them in, y'all didn't claim no customs, and y'all had 2 free checks. Y'all better relax.
My true issue is that you were brought home. Yes, understandably, it's been 6 weeks, but at the same time, it was either we try and keep the country safe or not. Unfortunately, you were locked out of the country, but that was put in place so that we can protect the citizens of the Bahamas. So when you return home, you don't have to go up and say, thank you did such a great job. Be grateful that you're home. Be grateful that we heard your cries and we said, you know what? Let's use the taxpayers' dollars, because that's my back money that I spend very frequently to get you home. Not, oh my gosh, look what they got us. This room's so musty. I sitting in a hotel room and they gave me a sandwich. Mom, they gave you food. They did.
Food.
First of all, you sitting in a what? You sitting in a what?
Hold on.
Room.
They're at Breeze's church.
Huh?
They're at Breeze's. The government literally rented out Breeze's, and that's where all of the persons are being quarantined.
Yeah.
What are they complaining about?
So in the video, she was the lady or the person that was complaining was saying that the bed was hard, there was mold in the room. She was complaining about the things that they had left in the room. So they had left like a hygiene kit for them, some wipes, but I guess because it wasn't Clorox wipes, she found that there was a problem with it. They left them like things to clean up their space, because obviously they won't be able to get out and people won't be able to come in the room to clean. But she found it difficult or hard to accept the situation as it was. Now, is Breezes the best place? Well, it ain't a 5-star hotel or a big luxury hotel, but at the end of the day, it's somewhere for you to rest your head. It's a comfortable place. It's a safe place for you to quarantine just for the 2 weeks that you're there. Another thing was a lot of them were saying that they tested prior to coming in and their tests were negative. So they're confused as to why they still have to quarantine. And I don't know if they've been watching the news, but it has been noted that not all the tests come out correctly. So while you may have tested negative, that still does not mean that you don't have the virus or you can't contract the virus or get the virus. So it's still very important that you take the 14, 15 days in quarantine before you can be, put back into normal society. So I think it's only fair that they have to do that.
Not only that, a lot of them would have started getting tested from last week or Monday and Tuesday, because they had to get this information to the consulate to get their travel arrangements booked. So who knows what would have happened the remainder of the week prior to them taking this flight. So it's still a precautionary measure to make sure that you quarantine.
Yeah.
The building in which you are staying in, you know where they could have placed these persons? Back in Canada Jail Isaac Street.
Mm-hmm.
On the same court where they had the Hurricane
Dorian victims.
They have these persons in beds with AC, a
bathroom. Ocean View.
Listen,
Ocean View, yes.
Like you said, I get that Breezes isn't a 5-star hotel. It's not, you laying up in one of the other luxurious hotels. But I am starting to realize that our people are somewhat ungrateful. I mean, let's look at a lot of the other companies that have been doing different things like care packages for their team members. And persons go online and be like, oh, this can't feed my whole family? Mom, hello. I'm not attempting to feed your family. I'm feeding you, the person that I employ. Okay? A lot of these companies have continued to keep their associates on or their team members on. They don't have to have these people on a temporary layoff. Some companies have decided to fully lay off. A lot of major companies in the U.S. have moved forward with full-time layoffs. The companies over here have decided to continue to hold on to their star employees. Why? Because it shows that they do care.
I'm going back to the story though. I don't know if this is accurate, but I also heard that the persons that the residents, Bahamians who came in, some of them are there at the hotel because I think the Ministry of Health, like they went to check out the homes prior to them coming in to make sure that they are they're able to quarantine at home. So in some cases, they may have checked it out and see that, well, you don't have a room that you can stay in alone. You don't have a bathroom that you want to have access to. So it would just be safer for you to remain at the hotel, quarantine for the 14 days, and then you can go home. Because at the end of the day, if you're going home to 6 other people and you're sharing a room and you're sharing a bathroom, if they have the virus or you have the virus, your whole home has it now. So it's still it's unsafe. So I don't get it. I just feel like they were being a little bit ungrateful.
Were they allowed to go like to the food store and things of that nature?
No, you're in quarantine. You're not allowed to go out. So what will probably happen is the hotel staff will obviously bring them meals every day to their room.
Oh, yeah, that was another situation, because apparently in one of the posts, the food was dropped off to the doorstep of each individual and left. Now, there was another video going around where the lady who saw her food was very upset that it was left on the ground, and she felt as though she was being treated inhumanely like animals. My thing is this: if you are quarantined in your house, let's say your bedroom has its own ensuite bathroom, so you do have the ability to quarantine in your own house. When your family makes or provides you with meals, they too will leave it at your door and wait for you to open the door to collect your food and go back inside. Like you're not coming out and they're not coming in. During a moment when we were quarantined here at our house, because my mother is a frontline worker, we were quarantined for I think a period of about maybe 7 days until until a test had to be taken, right? My brother was not staying with us, and he would purchase us groceries, literally leave them on the doorstep, drive off, and then call and say, hey, your groceries are on the doorstep. You guys can go outside and pick them up now. So I don't understand, which I completely understand and respect, because any form of potential contact is a possibility of contamination and contagion. So where else do you want them to knock on the door, wait for you with the phone in your hand so you could talk in their face and tell them thank you? And no.
Wow.
You lucky I even knocked and let you know your food was on the floor.
I think as long as the food is protected, it's covered, and that's fine with just resting it right there in front of your door. You get food. That's it. Like, my thing is, it's like I feel like they were expecting so much more grand than what they got, so they were upset. But then at the end of the day, the government has so much other things going on that making sure that you're in a luxury 5-star hotel and you have a butler or maid service, 24-hour maid service, that's the least of their worries.
It's a hotel. Exactly. It's still a bed and it's still a room.
Because at the end of the day, they still have to open the rest of the country to try and.
I have mixed feelings about it.
Cover.
Because what if I'm just saying, one of them would need to go and collect prescription, because I have prescription. And I deal with a particular doctor and a particular pharmacist.
But you make that known. You make it. I'm pretty sure this is my thing. They're not being kept there like animals and prisoners. I'm pretty sure if they have specific medications that they need, the same way that they can take their phone and record and video blast, they can contact any family member. They can contact the 511 emergency hotline. I'm pretty sure that they can. Why are you saying no? I need to understand why you're saying no.
Not all prescriptions work like that, but I don't want to get into that.
No. I'm pretty sure there was a process in terms of if persons needed special medication and things like that.
Right.
I'm sure that there's a process. I also heard that, like, if your family wanted to bring something for you, it would have to go through, I think, the Ministry of Health first. And then they would find a safer way to get whatever products it is to you, if that's necessary.
And
furthermore, you just come from the States, where I'm pretty sure you stock up on your own prescriptions anyway.
But if you are referring to needing medical or pharmaceutical care, the pharmacies over here are doing deliveries. So if it is a case where you have to speak to the doctor yourself to get these medication, it's still the same process. You let them know. They would bring it, assumedly, to Breezes. It goes to whatever checks it needs to, and the person at Breezes will bring it to your room. I don't see that there will be an issue getting medical treatment. I don't think this is a detention center camp where it's just like you're locked down in your room Don't ask for help. Don't let us know something is happening. I don't think it's like that. I just feel that it's a quarantine facility to ensure that you quarantine and stay away from anybody else to make sure that both you as well as the general public is safe.
Okay.
Furthermore,
so what is the purpose of
get home than to be stuck in the States? Didn't the Prime Minister come on the news and indicate that we are shutting the country down in X amount of days? If you are not in the country by then, you will need to stay put, which is what even the United States did to their personnel. If you are not in the country by a certain amount of time, you will need to stay where you are. It is not the government's responsibility to fund you when you decided to not come back during the time frame given, especially when airlines were not doing any penalties and were allowing you to freely change your ticket to get home in time. So you being stuck up in breezes is on you.
Okay, I understand what you guys are saying, and I'm just being the devil's advocate. What if it was you in a situation? What is the purpose of testing someone to bring them home and not allow them to go home? How would you feel?
Because when I tested you in the States or wherever I tested you, you still went into an area where you are now, again, with other personnel who could be asymptomatic, who could be negative at the time of testing, but now positive.
But that's all of us when we go shopping.
So now, agreed, understood. But guess what? We were physically here. They were in a country where it is literally running rampant, especially in South Florida. So you then coming into a plane with pressurized air, I don't care how much cleaning Bahamas and cities do,
right?
Pressurized air, you coming into contact with everybody from Majestic Tours bus, from immigration, from customs. I know why customs is there because we know y'all ain't clear no customs. From airport personnel, from hotel personnel. So because you are coming into contact with so many different persons who, again, could be asymptomatic, not showing any signs, so there's no need for them to take a test, but they could be contagious. You're now in a position where we need to ensure that you don't have it. So I need to quarantine you for a bit, just to make sure that you don't have any symptoms that may show, and you may very well have to take another test. It has nothing to do with the fact that they got tested again, so why can't they just go straight home? No, it has everything to do with the fact that, yes, they got tested, but then they were then placed into different scenarios
where they could have gotten it between their last testing and getting back here.
Yeah, that's what, 190 people? That's a great risk.
I am also I'm going to answer your question actually in one sentence string. When I gave you the option to return home, the option, because you didn't have to, when I gave you this, hold on, let me finish. When I gave you this option, a part of my agreement was, if you take my flight, you have to be quarantined in my facility. That was the very first agreement that me and you made. So if you decided that you wanted to, you also decided that you didn't mind being quarantined. I never told you where the facility was. I never told you how you were going to be housed. I just told you that you were going to be self-quarantined up to 14 days. So to then come back and complain about, oh, I didn't know this was going to happen. Why is this happening to me? I find it very ridiculous.
The bed
and then we still feeding you.
The bed hard? You know how much people are strapped to the floor when they're up on that bed? You better be glad your bed hard.
But we feeding you meals. Like literally meals. Like you getting hot food. You don't have to go like how us currently inside the house. Let me tell y'all, I am tired of cooking. But we feeding you full meals that you don't have to get up and go inside.
Peas and rice, macaroni, rotisserie chicken, and mixed veg.
Full-fledged dinners.
You home.
And you have a view of the ocean. I don't care where you is. You could open up your window and feel the fresh breeze.
You could sit on a patio. If I go outside, I gotta stand up. I ain't got no chair.
Tried. So it's just coming back to being ungrateful. Like Ramesh said, I gave you the option. You decided when you agreed that you would have agreed to my terms and my conditions just to get home. If you were not okay with those conditions, one, you should have come home in the allotted amount of time that I gave you, which was more than
you could have remained.
And two, you could have found your friends or family who live illegally in the States and squat on their bed or couch until we open our borders for you to come back. That's what you could have done. Because I think there was only one family who probably made their story known that indicated that they stayed because the surgery was definitely it was a must needed emergency surgery for their child. Other than that, I don't see anybody else posting about how they had to go for medical services. It literally just sounded as though persons went to shop.
Trips. Yeah.
And
they ticket wasn't set to come back. They wasn't supposed to come back before the airport shut down, so they would stay in.
Right. So, and at the end of the day, this is a different type of situation. We could have said, we'll give you 2 weeks to come back, but every day something changes. There could have been a case where that week wasn't even given. If he had decided that y'all only have between 3 days to come home, you have to do that. You either come home in the 3 days or you don't come at all.
All right. On a lighter note, I feel like getting the community drag. Let's have what they say, let's cancel the community right now. Because I know some people who could be listening to this next post will be doing it. So there is a beautiful prophetess that has been on the internet. Wow. So she's all about her supernatural powers, letting the people know that it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day once again, people. And for Mother's Day, we need to send her some money because that's what we do. Not to pledge your tithes, the Lord's offering. No. We need to give this supernatural woman her blessings because she's been working hard during this quarantine time. So some of the options were 200, 300, 1,500, 3,000, and I'm just like,
minimum was 300.
Correct, not 5, 10, 15, 40 cents, dollar.
Which is some people
or give what your heart can. Right. So after Monday's decision, this relaxation, phase 1B, to relax curbside and deliveries, meaning that liquor stores can once again open and deliver items to the persons that truly, truly need it in this time to bear because they are suffering from quarantine fatigue. This young lady decided to go on the great social media and pronounce that Prime Minister, you got 7 days. 7 days.
Who the hell do you think you are?
The destruction is coming
Who
down
are you?
on your government.
7 good days trend.
I thought she was in an arc.
Why would you think God is listening to you?
No, he's listening. He always listens.
Why would you think he would accept this declaration? Who do you think you are?
That's a praying woman of God. She's a mighty woman.
No, the problem with
this is God and this is her and this is the rest of us.
The issue with some religious leaders is that they let the praise from being up there somehow affect the fact that God is God and you are human and you are under him. Stop trying to be on his level or over him. Stop. She's overdoing it.
Yeah, person. You're on his level.
Your special praying powers trend. Go buy me a bottle of water.
Where is Danny Hinn?
I'm to the point where
I need that water. Buy me that water.
Hair of it. I'm just like.
Buy me that water trend, please.
It's so many issues that I'm having with her in this 1 week.
It's not godly.
It's not a real place.
That also means that you, as a Christian woman, a godly woman, as you proclaim, are endangering your persons in your church to come to church because you need them to come and tithe. Mom, people are not working. We are unemployed.
She needed money, that's why she wanted them to come.
Nobody has $3,000 to give you. If that's $3,000, they need to give it to a charity.
At this point, why her church don't have a bank account where people could just transfer money? Just why have to come to church to do it? I could just, log on to my
because it would make it look like she just wants money. She don't want that. She wanted to make it look
She
like,
wanna put
oh,
down a prayer too.
you're
Yeah.
stopping our people from praising the Lord. That's what she wanted to make it look like. But it's all about money for her.
No, that's not right. That is not the
And you
purpose of
can't
the
have
church, and
service
that gives
on
Christians a bad
Zoom
name.
or FaceTime or none of the other video chats. God ain't in that presence there either.
Church is not a building. Church is wherever one or two are gathered.
Fellowship amongst his children.
So, in all honesty, what bothers me the most is how bad of a reputation persons like herself give the Christian community. Because at the end of the day now, persons are looking in like, yeah, that's all Christians are looking for. All they want is the tithes and the offering. They don't care what they tell you. They spew in all kind of false narratives, and they're a hateful group of people. That is not what Christians are.
She is the perfect example of distinguishing between what a Christian and what a religious person is.
Yes, her description, I would put her as a religious person. She's not a believer. She cannot be a believer if this is the way that she's carrying on. The fact that you threatened, okay? You didn't threaten to your friend. You went on the internet and you threatened the Prime Minister of the Bahamas.
On live.
As well as essentially the country. Because you told everybody, if after 7 days, which is what, next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, if after them 7 days she ain't in her church, y'all gonna know. That is, no.
Boy, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Like, where's the level of respect? Bishop, priest, pastor, deaconess, elder, whatever it is, there's a level of respect. You know, and I don't care what kind of power you feel like you have or you think you have. That's just out of control. And I don't agree with it at all. And I don't agree with persons that agree with her or feel as though she did the right thing or said the right thing or whatever it is. It's wrong. How do you go on live on Facebook or whatever it is and threaten the prime minister or whatever it is just because you want to get in church? You're not thinking about the well-being of people in general because you want a packed church where you can have someone who has the virus and it affects everyone in that church, including yourself. Just so you can leave that Sunday with however amount of money that is you collect after putting down a prayer that might not even be genuine. I don't get it.
You know, this isn't the first time that she's been circulated for doing something bizarre. Last year, she celebrated her birthday and she had this big golden ceremony celebrating the queen of the church. And mom, from then you should have stopped. What? She was it. She had a big birthday celebration and the church had to celebrate her because she was what you worshipped. And that's what I feel like it is for her. She is the one who needs to be celebrated and worshipped for essentially giving the good news.
Oh, this goes far beyond what she should be doing then.
Yeah. This is the times that we live in.
She's canceled.
Hopefully. Let's cancel people.
We'll see.
So on a lighter note, let's get the community back to a joyful mood. Because we had a very, 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 very deep podcast today. So what are some things that you all are doing to cope with this quarantine fatigue?
I really haven't done anything productive at all. This week alone, I just relax. I'm trying to just get through every day. It seems like time is going by fast in the day, so that's also, it's a good thing in some instances because you don't really feel the boredom. But I don't know, maybe this week I'll jump on getting into a new book. I have a book here that I've been trying to read.
I'm definitely not a reader.
So I'll probably try and get into that and then find some things to just to keep my mind busy until I'm able to, you know, get reacquainted with society a little bit more, get back out there.
All right, Trent, back to you. Let's try this again.
I've been in my studies. I try to be positive. Yes, I am tired being inside, but it can be a good thing. Being stuck at home, at any moment I can walk outside and boom, affected. So I try to stay home and do as much studies as I can. So I'm coping well.
So I will say that I am not. For those who do not know, May is mental health awareness month. And it's a real thing.
Fitting, very fitting.
Very fitting is correct. While I would say I'm not in a state of depression, it's definitely my energy levels are lower. You're not as engaged or excited for things as you would usually be. And that's because you're in the same, it's like I'm repeating each day and there's nothing really changing, you know?
It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, you know, I wake up, I either do work on my certification or I go in the kitchen and cook. And then I go to sleep and watch TV and then repeat the day all over again. So for me, I feel this week especially, I have just been in a state of just do nothingness. I literally took naps. I'm not a person that takes naps in the middle of the day. And I've literally found myself falling asleep for like 2 to 3 hours because I just feel like I have nothing to do. And I don't like that headspace. So it is, I guess, a work in progress to try and get yourself out of that space. Find something that will help you to do that, whether that be talking to persons more or going outside just for a walk in your yard or finding something that would help you to regain some form of sanity. I think speaking to someone about it is very important. You know, a lot of persons tend to internalize it and not share how they're feeling or how they're coping. So talking to someone about how you're dealing with something is going to be very major. Cracking a joke, laugh a little.
It's very important to have friends that you could just clown with on WhatsApp video, FaceTime, people that could just get your mind off things for an hour or so, just to relax.
Listen to the community, you know, get something that will lighten up your soul.
I am not coping. I am, and I am not afraid or ashamed to say that. I am simply letting the days go by, catching up on series, reading, doing some courses, and currently making comforters.
Oh my gosh, I saw a lot of people making comforters this week. AWED, y'all find conch.
I think every week it's like a trend of something. Like everybody's making something.
We better be fine conch.
For true. And
all about it.
And the door close.
I also have lots of stuff.
Also, our community listeners, just to let y'all know, Nadia never brought me the mangoes, but that's okay.
Oh, you mean? Well, here they are, honey.
Yeah, because they're doing such a great job considering I'm on lockdown.
Oh, there's my mother.
Hey.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
But yeah, I think it's a trend of everything. Week 1 and 2 was cinnamon buns. Then the week after that was banana bread. Then it turned into
don't forget Good Friday and Easter week. It was hot cross buns.
Something. They was hot cross buns.
Fried fish.
They had hot cross buns. I will not lie. I had hot cross buns.
Yeah, and now that it's time for Mother's Day, it's saying, oh no, you know another one that's come up? A lot of people are doing these at-home seafood boils. Once again, where the hell are you getting seafood?
I did one.
Where are y'all getting seafood from?
I can't reveal my sources, but I did a seafood boil on April 28th for my mother's birthday. I had lobster, shrimp.
How long does that take, Nadia?
Honestly, it took, I will be honest, it took maybe 2 to 3 hours because you're literally boiling everything and you want the seasonings to
seep in and everything.
Really infuse with all of your items, like the corn and the potato. But my mommy truly enjoyed it. So a lot of persons may not know, but that nice sauce that you see persons have, you actually make that separately. So I actually made my own. I'll show you guys. because our wonderful food store does not have actual Cajun seasoning, I made my own. And it's actually like smell it and whatnot. It's literally like, I can't tell you that.
That's fine.
But it's actual Cajun seasoning. Like it literally tastes like Cajun seasoning. And once you have that and you mix it with some Old Bay seasoning, you can find this in the food store as well. Those two mixed together actually give you that seafood boil that you would taste at your local seafood boil shop. And I have done seafood boil in New Orleans, in Florida. Where else have I done it? I can't remember now. But they have been amazing. So have you guys ever had seafood boil? I don't mean like from Joe's Crab Shack.
Never had seafood boil.
I've never had a seafood boil. Not even at I've never even been to a Joe's Crab Shack, to be honest.
Correct.
Yeah,
what?
Sorry.
That's not that old Red Lobster.
I'm not even go to those either. I don't really like seafood.
Love seafood.
I am a person that
I can only do shrimp.
If I go to a state, I like to go to restaurants that are like literally only in that state. So I don't really go to a lot of franchise restaurants. I like to do my research before I travel to.
Boring.
Go to those mom and pop restaurants over there. So no, I've never actually gone to Joe's Crab Shack. I've driven past them and I'm like, oh my gosh. I always see people eating crab legs and always talking about it, but I just never made it in. There's always a moment.
There's like a restaurant over here that does that though. It's similar to like this crabby juice or something like that.
I don't know if that's the name of the restaurant, but okay.
Yeah, let me go on Instagram.
Now I know somebody that does it.
Yeah, see?
I know somebody who does it who actually works at a hotel, and he does it every Friday. I haven't tasted as yet. Oh, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, I've never heard about that place.
Okay.
Well, but the person who I know of, he does it really well. He gets a lot of great reviews. I am going to try him one day and see if it's really good.
Well, if it's really good, you can let me know.
I'm really excited.
Okay. I know. Oh boy. Another thing persons have been doing to cope with quarantine fatigue has been games. We spoke about it before. None of us have a lot of consoles, but Annie, you were telling us last week off of the podcast about the Sims game. Tell us a little bit more about that and how that works.
You're really about to make me seem like the ultra nerd. Goon. Yeah,
you are. I play too, and I play a hot
Sims free play.
So,
however, I play Sims free play. I like it. It just somehow like a whole hour, 2 hours could go by and you don't even notice it because you're so into the game because there's so much to do. I like it.
For those
of
us out there who do not know what Sims is, what is it?
Who don't know about Sims?
I see the clips, but I really do not know what you do.
They spell it with 2 eyes, right?
It's a simulation.
SIME.
Yeah, I think I have 2 eyes, Sean.
I'm curious.
SIMS. So it's a simulation game where you can create your own world, your own community, your own town with its own persons, with their own personalities. You can have a family. You could not have a family.
They go to school. They have jobs. They have hobbies. You build homes. You build a whole city, basically.
I feel like this take up a lot of battery.
It just builds my mansion.
On space on your phone. On time. But if you really want something to distract you, definitely. Sims free play is better. Sims free play is better for iPhone, not the mobile one.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I will be honest. I've downloaded a hacked version of Sims Mobile, which allows my money to never run out and my lives never to run out and my energy never to lose. So I just recently built a 3-bedroom mansion. The reason it is a mansion is because my bedroom and my bedroom, bathroom, and closet takes up half of the property.
Yep.
Okay. There is a children's room to
So
the
Nadia, how many Sims do
children's
you have
room
in
is
your
Yeah, I
way
come to visit when I do my Sims person.
You can visit, it has to connect with Facebook though. You have to connect
I
with
can visit
Facebook and your
Anya's
Facebook
house.
friends. Yeah, can visit.
I'll let Anya. I'm going to add Anya so Anya can visit my house. She'll realize like my child's room because I just had a baby. She's a girl,
This is
and
a real thing.
my mother laughing at me.
How many Sims do you have in your city, Nadia?
For my Sims, I think I only have like that I made. I only have 2 persons, but like, obviously the computer and Facebook people are like when I go to the town and the park, it's lit. Like there's like 10,000 people there.
Mm-mm.
So you made a reference to lives. These people die?
Yes, they get all.
Yes, they can die.
Okay, so in free play, you have the circle of life. So if a married couple, they get married, they can get pregnant and have a baby. They make love.
That's what I did.
So like hearts come up while they're making love. Then they get pregnant, they have a baby.
I
The
want to see
baby
the
grows
actual
up
parts.
into a toddler.
Okay, wow.
Then from a toddler to a preteen, then preteen to
Gotta
a
send them
teen,
to high
teen
school.
to adult. Right. Then adult. And then they work. And then as they're like they have like these green circles, so it shows their life. And then eventually it goes down and then they become old. And then after a while they die.
This better be 18 or older game.
Okay.
So it happened.
No, because I definitely feel like I've seen little children use this game.
Right.
But I've been using Sims since I was in high school. Sims on your computer was much better because you were able to like build a swimming pool in your backyard. I can't even build a swimming pool. I have this old rinky-dink fountain, and the only thing I could do in it, my 3 options for the fountain is, yes, my mansion has a fountain. I have to either admire it, flip a coin in it, or just like look at it. And I'm like,
Get that one. Get free play because you can get a pool. You can make your own pool.
right, because I have Sims Mobile.
Slides and everything.
See, this is sounding a lot like the Chances game where they ask you Chances. I think that's what the name.
Chances is
Oh,
pretty.
I love Chances.
Chances is pretty.
Choices.
More promiscuous than that game, I believe.
Yes, it is. It's a lot more for me.
No problems.
And children should definitely not download that one.
No. That's
Savannah said something about that the other day, and I said delete it.
That is
My
an
sister,
18
she's
years
14.
older game. Definitely.
So the YouTube ads that show where it's be like, you hear somebody up in the bedroom, what do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, those are real. I thought those were just fake ads. I didn't realize that actually happens on the game.
You can choose. Now, the thing is, the outcome will always be, what I've realized is that no matter what you choose, the story doesn't really change much. Like, whatever the story is, like, so if you choose not to go upstairs, you still will find out that your husband was cheating on you.
But just later
right?
on.
But it's just later on, and maybe under different circumstances. They can never change the actual foundation of the story. It's just your choices will impact how you get to
When
that
you find
point.
out, yeah.
Yeah, but the foundation of it never changes. That's what I've realized. But let me tell you something. Apple App Store, I've been downloading everything. Them little stupid games where the little ball is dropped down and then it's changed from pink to black to blue. Everything. I've been downloading everything. Okay.
I mean, it ain't even halfway finished downloading yet.
So,
Okay.
Trent and Anya, because I had the game and y'all were a bit confused on how it works the last time. Nadia, you as well, so that you can learn it for whenever we actually are able to play games in person. Please download Phase 10. So
What is that?
So Phase 10, let me cancel Trent's camera because you're being real disrespectful right now. So Phase 10 is a card game. Where in each phase, each round, you have to meet a phase. So it either can be, you have to get a set of 4, which is 4 of the same card, 4 of the same number, sorry. Or you can get a run of 4, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can get all of the same color. So it's different phases that you have to complete. It's 10 phases. But it's a really, really, really fun game. It takes some intellect. It's not your every Joe Blow card game. But it's really good. You would really enjoy it. So download FaceTime on your iPhones. I don't know if it's on any of the
Any game
Samsung
that you play with
devices.
Ramesh, he cheats and he changes the rules.
Okay, so that's the reason. That is the reason.
That's why we're not interested in playing with you.
Hello. I'm not gonna let y'all slander my name on this podcast.
I just realized how shady y'all is. My nickname is finally today.
Ramesh is a cheater.
No, so that's the importance of you learning to play the game, so that when we actually do play it in person, it can't be, oh, I don't know how to play. Y'all will actually know how to play the game.
You two like bring up games we don't know how to play, and then
Yes,
So what you're trying to say is
you're teaching it based on what you feel like teaching us.
That's why you're going to do it
Right.
based on the app, and you're going to learn how to play it yourself, and then I don't have to teach you and show you the correct way. You would already know.
So what you're trying to say is Ramesh just cheats to his benefit.
Yeah. Somehow
Yeah.
every new
experienced
game
this scenario. This is
every
something
new
that
game
we've
he
made up.
introduces to us, we can never win.
Ramesh,
And then he's let you think you win it, and then all of a sudden he just start, let's go. Moving dead cars.
One person complaining, it can't be a lie.
No, you know what it is, Nadia? It's not that I am a cheater. It's that you always have that one loudmouth that would say, oh my God, you're cheating. And because everyone hears the loudmouth say it, everyone agrees, you know?
Oh, so
Typically, that
Anya
person,
cheated and Trent just is bandwagon.
typically it's the person who's losing. And because everyone is losing, it's like, oh yeah, you
I don't do
cheated.
that.
You cheated.
I don't do that. If I lose it, I have to be dead quiet. Like y'all know I know it when I lose it.
Wow.
Because
Nadia.
Anya's be the one who's be like, oh,
Do you know those persons who...
Fred, are we on the same team or not?
You know those
This is-
persons who is be quick to throw in the cards and say, oh, I gotta go, just because they losing and don't decide to play out the game?
Yeah.
That's the other two squares in this podcast.
Wow.
No, I have to go.
Nadia, this is what I believe. This is what I believe, Nadia. Because we grow up in different households, Bahamians are their own little twist of things.
Yeah.
Ramesha's family have a lot of twists
You have a
in,
lot of seasoning.
how they play their games.
It's not just him at this point, it's his whole family.
You got a lot of seasoning.
Probably, if it ain't his family, then we'll blame him solely. But I don't want to put the whole blame on him. He was taught that this is how you play Uno, so you can't blame him solely for it.
So I have been playing the Uno app, and I'm gonna tell y'all now, the Uno app allows you to put a draw on a draw two. I'm gonna say it now. Go on in and play for yourself. Download Uno. Anya, you should know. You just probably don't play it
The
often enough.
instructions are online.
You dead quiet over there. You dead quiet.
I played a
Shifty,
Uno
shiesty, and shady.
game. I got to delete that off my
Shifty,
phone.
shiesty, and shady.
I got other games. Somebody
you
play
wanna come for an
Property Brothers
argument?
with me.
Anya? Oh, I play Property Brothers. What level are you on?
2.
1,345.
No, that's
What
too
game is
much.
that?
Level
The thing
1,000?
That is
the
too much.
game level, the game level.
That is too much.
Oh my goodness, Anya.
That is
I'm
too
only on
much.
like 190 something.
I
You
am
just
on
started.
Yeah,
I've been
but
playing for a while. I think from like last year. So
oh, I was gonna say you have to be playing for like a year because you know way.
yeah. But then when you get like 3 bonus hours, you can sit there and play. What else?
Yeah,
is
but
there?
sometimes my 3 bonus hours is come like at midnight, and I ain't saying until 3 a.m. to be doing that.
I did that last night.
Thank you so much for tuning into the community. I'm Ramesh.
I'm Trent.
I'm Nadia.
And I'm Anya.
And we are your community team. Please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video on YouTube and follow us at the.community on Instagram. Have a great day, everybody.
Hi, guys.